Hello again, Skin School. Welcome to Skin School today, and I'm so happy you are all joining. And I would also actually like to know what you guys want to hear more about, listen to today. I'm so excited because this is one of the most interesting people I started talking to, and we did a live a couple of weeks ago, and it's just super interesting. Dr. Swart, who's a medical doctor, neuroscientist. You can tell us about the connection between our brain and our skin, which is so fascinating. Welcome today. Hi, Tara. How are you?
Hi, Barbara. I'm good. I'm super excited to be doing Skin School. I really appreciate you as a person, and I love your product. So this is just a chat I'm going to enjoy.
No, that's always when we come together, we actually enjoy a lot our conversation. And by the way, everyone, Tara also wrote an amazing book, The Source. And I couldn't find it just now, but it's always with me actually. And since I'm traveling so much, we're trying to find it because it's a great book to just, I like books where you just open a page and you start reading. So it's not like you need to read through the whole book to understand. It's something, I enjoy very much to read in between when I have a minute here and there. So maybe you want to talk a little bit about what you do, where you come from, what your background is, and what you know about skin and science and neuroscience in particular.
That's a lot, Barbara. I'll try.
I know. I just want to relax a little bit here and have a glass of water and have you talk.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that about my book, and I must get you a copy for each of your homes because I've been seeing how much you've been traveling and moving around. So that's the solution.
Good idea.
Funnily enough, somebody actually just DM'd me and asked about my method for doing an action book, and I was just about to say to her, you don't have to read the whole book. You can just go straight to that chapter, and then hopefully read it later. But basically, what I do is I focus on trying to merge science and spirituality. So obviously, I have a scientific background, and I have a personal story of how I kind of looked into spirituality. And I feel like as a child, they were two things that I kept very separate. But later, sort of, I guess around mid-30s, sort of midlife crisis kind of time, I really understood the power of those two things being connected. And I'm really, really passionate about that. So yeah, I wrote the book. I basically give talks. I do coaching. I'm coaching within the financial services industry. So lots of very different things. And I have been, since I was 18, so that's nearly 30 years now, been very, very interested in skin and skincare. And I've kind of learned about it by myself, by reading, by asking friends. So yeah, I'm happy to share the skincare stuff a bit later. But I'm basically all about manifestation, vision boards, laws of attraction, but all backed up by cognitive science. And also the connection between our brain, our gut, our skin, three organs that I think have been particularly important in this last 15 months where we've been under so much stress.
Yes, I totally agree. So stress and skin, that is probably one of the areas you look into, what is the, obviously inflammation. Stress is increasing our hormone cortisol, which also has an effect on skin. And I think some people just are surprised to hear that when you are stressed, you can have a lot of breakouts, or if you have a lack of sleep, you can have a lot of breakouts. But how do you see, coming from the neuroscience, the connection between, mental health and skin?
Mm-hmm. There's actually a field of study called psychodermatology, which is about the connection between the condition of your skin and your mental health. And it's a two-way connection. So if you're very stressed, if you're getting insomnia or anxiety, that can show up on your skin. And equally, if you get a breakout, that can really lower your mood. So you're absolutely right. Cortisol, the stress hormone, it basically erodes our immunity. It's pro-inflammatory. So it makes everything, become more inflamed from the inside out. But it also causes systemic dryness. And so people could have noticed things like, everything from constipation to very dry skin, particularly on your shins, if you have any tendency for eczema or psoriasis or dermatitis, then that really flaring up. And people who've never had those things before, finding that they have patches of skin that have become dry or scaly or inflamed. And also hair. So, you know, your hair could become much frizzier, your scalp could become more itchy. So there's a lot of ways that it really shows up on the outside, because if you think about the amount of water that we drink in a day and what our body uses that up for our metabolism, our digestion, everything, the skin and the hair are kind of the last bits that get the water. So there has to be enough in there for you know, the skin to get its part.
Absolutely right. So does it have to do with the parasympathicus and the sympathicus when we talk about the connection between the brain and, you know, our skin and how it shows up? And, you know, how do you explain that?
So that is actually the main connection. So that is that your brain and your spinal cord are your central nervous system, and all the nerves that go out to your muscles, your skin, your organs, and there's a really large supply to the gut, they are the peripheral nervous system. And within that is the autonomic nervous system that has these two halves. And the parasympathetic is for rest and repair, and the sympathetic is for fright, flight, fight. So it's, you know, it's your response to a threat. It's you rising to meet a challenge. It's you coping with stress. But you can't stay in that state all the time, because then that stress hormone, you know, kicks off and has all the kind of effects of basically an overdose of stress. So doing things that can push you more into the parasympathetic state are really important. And there's a variety of things.
Like meditation, for example, like meditation.
Absolutely, meditation. Yoga, mostly forward folds and holding them for longer than you do usually in a flowy class. That pushes you into the parasympathetic. That can actually trigger the signals for fat release from the brain, because when we're stressed, we also hold on to fat, particularly around our abdomen. And so a lot of people have found in the last year that their arms and legs are still the same size, but they have put on weight around their middle, their jeans are tighter, their belt is, you know, one notch wider. And that's a stress response. And I think it's so incredible to see that our bodies are fighting to survive, but it's also a sign that we're in chronic low-grade stress, and you know, we're not built for that. That's not good for us. Interestingly, though, there's actually a lot of other ways that the brain and the gut and the skin connect. So there's the sympathetic nervous system, but also the parasympathetic nervous system. There's all sorts of hormones that flow around our body. So thyroid hormones, sexual hormones, cortisol, obviously, adrenaline. They also have an effect on the quality of your skin and, you know, what your skin's doing, how it's behaving. And then there are chemical messages that get sent from the gut bacteria in the blood to the brain that also tells us, you know, whether we are either suffering from stress, or we're eating too much processed food, or we've had to take antibiotics. As soon as there's any changes on the impact on the gut bacteria, they will signal both to the brain and to the gut neurons to say, you know, the gut has become leaky, the gut is releasing these things into the bloodstream. And all of that can have an impact on the skin, because, you know, we're a dynamic, interconnected organ. There's no separation that, you know, if I eat this, it won't have an impact on my skin, or if I spend time with toxic people, it won't have an impact on my skin. Everything has an impact on every cell of your body.
But look how interesting, you know, the function of the microbiome is. So it's basically an alarm mode. So it's like your alarm button to something is going on. So if the microbiome is not intact in our gut, you know, this function is not there. So same with the skin. I mean, we have a microbiome on our skin, and it's, you know, from lots of skincare companies not really respected, because we are targeting our skin with crazy ingredients lots of times, you know, where we don't even know what they're doing, but they definitely destroy the microbiome and the skin barrier function. And so we also have to start seeing our skin as the organ with all these functions. And it starts with the microbiome, and it starts with, you know, seeing the skin as a medium to deliver ingredients into the skin. It starts with understanding that our skin is interfering with our immune system. There are so many functions coming from our skin that are just overlooked when it comes to skincare ingredients, and that's a big problem and should be, you know, now we see it in the gut, how the gut's microbiome is important. It's the same with our skin.
Totally. And actually, as you were saying that, I was thinking that, you know, we all know that the skin is the physical boundary of our body, but it's also the psychological boundary of our body. So often if you feel like somebody has, you know, got into your personal space or taken advantage of you emotionally or financially, that can actually show up on your skin. You can suddenly get a rash, because any boundary transgressions, however, you know, even if they're just energetic rather than psychological, there is a connection between you feeling that and it showing up on your skin. I mean, it's actually incredible.
What about flushing when you're embarrassed? I mean, that's a pretty obvious one. So yeah, there you see a lot of you know, things on our skin, which is going on with our inside. You know, if we had a bad night's sleep, you know, we can see in the morning, people would say to you, what's up with you? Didn't you sleep okay? So people can see just from looking at your eyes, at your skin, at your, you know, whole situation that, you know, something wasn't good with your sleep. So, and, you know, if we go back many years, there weren't MRIs, there wasn't anything to, not even lab work or anything. The doctors only had the tongue, they had the face, the skin, the eyes. There wasn't so many more signals to, you know, diagnose a disease. So we can see a lot going on in our bodies on the outside of our skin. And some things I think which appears a lot is cystic acne. And cystic acne not only comes from stress, it comes also from, you know, processed food, or, you know, especially also processed meat and dairy and, you know, hormones and antibiotics in our food. I think, meanwhile, it's quite severe how food, even if we think we eat healthy, food is so processed that it's not even funny that it's not healthy. Yeah. I think sourcing really good, healthy, clean food is quite a challenge in these days. How do you do that?
I completely agree. And that's something that I'm very particular about, because, you know, I believe that what you eat is like fueling every cell of your body, and it's largely fueling your brain. Your brain is the hungriest organ in your body. It uses up 20 to 30% of what you eat. Your brain is using up 20% of what you ate that day, even when you're asleep. And normally during the day when you're active and you're thinking, it's using up about 25%. And if you're stressed, it will use up 30%. And so it will also leach some vital vitamins and minerals from your body, like magnesium particularly. And so I think that even if you choose organic wherever possible and maybe grow a few things of your own, because of agricultural practices in the modern world, it's, you know, it's still difficult to get. Yeah, it is scary. So, but I think what has been interesting is that most people have had to cook more in the last year than ever before. And I've definitely seen a benefit of that, you know, and not just externally, even in my blood test results.
Yeah. I'm 100% sure that is correct, because we source our food in a certain way. Even if you go to supermarket, you look at a bunch of different things, you know, and really check and read the ingredients. Meanwhile, you read ingredients, you know, when I was younger, nobody would do that. And now everybody's so interested because there's so much terrible stuff out there. You have to become an expert yourself, not just with skincare, with food, with anything. Yeah. Everything which touches your body inside and out needs to be really looked at from different perspectives.
I even say that, you know, what you're feeding your brain isn't just the food that you eat, it's the news that you read, it's the social media that you look at, it's, you know, the people that you hang around with, what they say to you, it's the narrative in your own head. So, you know, in terms of imbibing or ingesting, it's kind of digital as well as, you know, food or you know, topical products.
So we talk a lot about the problems. I'm always like up for solution finding, because it's like, to me there are no problems, there are only solutions. So let's talk a little bit about what we can do to make things better for us if we are super stressed right now. And sometimes you think, oh yeah, let's take like 3 deep breaths, really in our stomach, and really count the breath, and maybe even meditate a little bit with it. That already has an impact. But what are like some good practices you recommend, which is easy to do throughout the day, where we can just like try to relieve stress? I would propose not watching the news every day. That's how I do it.
It's funny that you're giggling, because people feel bad saying they don't watch the news because it implies that you don't care about what's going on in the world. But myself included, and all the neuroscientists that I am friends with, never watch the news. I don't watch the news. I do read the Sunday Times, but not so much the news sections. If there's a disaster in the world, one of my family members will tell me about it, and I might see it on Twitter, but I don't kind of, repeatedly allow this bad news to come into my brain, because we know, for example, that people who repeatedly looked at images of the Twin Towers falling in New York, but had no connection to New York themselves, didn't lose anyone or anything as a result of it, could get PTSD. So that's how much repeatedly,
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my work is all about neuroplasticity, which is your ability to change. But what has to be remembered is that whatever you're repeating, that is embedding in your brain. So if it's bad news, then...
Also interesting that you say that, because sorry to interrupt you, but it's interesting that you say that. If I see something, I take it in so badly. I mean, like, I will dream about it. To me, that's why I'm not looking at anything, like, because it's like I'm emotionally so involved. And for me, it's really crazy how I react. That's why I also, I never really watch movies either. I mean, like, I'm whether working or with my family, or I'm doing some sports, I'm really not watching TV or any kinds of. I try to really detach myself from that. But if I watch a movie, it needs to be like a kids movie or some happy. I could never watch like horror movies. That would freak me out. So it's interesting how, yeah, this repeatedly news really gets a place in your brain, and you process it, and you get stressed from that.
Totally. And the solution that I found, because we want to focus on solutions, is I think of it like a patchwork quilt in my day, so that each patch is something mindful. A lot of people who have discovered meditation and yoga are, they're intent on practicing it daily, and that's great. What I have found is that as your spiritual practice evolves, meditation and yoga actually means union of your mind and your body, union of you and other people in the universe, that shouldn't be separate from your normal life. It shouldn't be, that's the 90 minutes that I went to a yoga class, or that's the 15 minutes that I did meditation. That mindfulness should be part of your life. So I actually don't do a regular meditation practice anymore, but when I wake up, I do opening monitoring of my thoughts, I do breathing, I do stretching before I get out of bed. I do mindful eating. So I was brought up, it's a very Hindu Indian thing to do mindful eating, to, eat Ayurvedic, chew many times, don't talk whilst you're eating, don't have any devices or distraction around you, and to give gratitude for your food. So, because I had to do that every day.
I love that. I love that. I got brought up like this too. I love that. It's very rare to find, and with my little one, I practice with her, and try to live that. And, in America, the kids, they're, my stepchildren, they're very much like, talking, and, loud music. And it's so stressful to have a meal there.
I mean, I sort of I kind of zone out of it. Like if people are talking around me, I just don't talk. I just focus on the food, and actually focus and attention are another thing that's mindfulness. Because again, you know, in this pandemic, this is the space where I sit and work now, but I was just working at the kitchen table. You know, the kitchen, I always think, is the center of the family home, and I love it. But that meant that if I was on my phone, which doesn't really look like work, people would just come and talk to me. And at first I found it a bit annoying, but then I thought, okay, what's more important, that I'm in the middle of an email or like giving all of my love and attention to my family? So I would look at them and I would say, yes, what is it? You know, it's like, I'm so interested, even if I was thinking I really need to finish this email. So paying attention, whether it's to people, and for me, like quite intuitively, because I only really discovered skincare around the age of 18, 19, I always did massage. I always took my time over it. It wasn't just get these products and slap them on. So like more recently, facial massage has become a thing, but I was always doing it. And so there's 2 new pieces of research that have come out recently that, because we could talk about sleep and diet and hydration and exercise and meditation. We've kind of covered those off, but
yes,
that contribute most to your mental health and your brain performance, which will have a cascade effect on your skin, are spending time in nature and feeling connected to nature, and having a purpose that transcends yourself. So not, I do this job because it earns me enough money to live, but
yes,
having, something that kind of is bigger than just about your own
a bigger
needs.
mission. My mission is to everyone having good skin, and by taking away all these like unnecessary, terrible ingredients from the market. So I want to change the skincare industry. So we all have to help here. That's really good. I agree with nature. Also walking barefoot. I think everybody understands this now better than ever. With spending time during COVID. Trying to find nature around, not being able to fly to all these crazy big cities, but really enjoying like the moments under a tree or something, which is so powerful. Just like lying on the grass, looking up, watching the clouds go by. It's something probably lots of people have done now, but not for a couple of years. So actually I agree, it's really powerful to do that, and it's scientifically proven.
Yeah. These 2 pieces of research, I was on a panel with a neurologist and a neurosurgeon from Harvard and one of the Californian universities, and they shared this information. And I was like, I am loving being on this panel because I'm learning so much from these 2 guys. Also, I heard a really lovely way to do this recently, because a lot of people are in flats, they may not have their own garden. And so having houseplants that you talk to, because there's an experiment that was done that showed that if you have 2 of the same plants in different rooms, and every day you say to one of the plants, you're stupid, you won't grow, you'll never make it, you're bad. And you say to the other plant, you're beautiful, I love you, you're growing, you're so amazing. The plant that you say the bad words to will actually die and have stunted growth.
Oh my God, that is crazy.
And
wow,
the experiment was amazing, but then somebody said the sweetest thing, which is, why don't we name one of the plants in our house after ourselves? Because then you're doing affirmations all day, because then you can say, Barbara, you're growing so beautifully. Barbara, you're blooming. Barbara, you're lovely. Barbara, you need some hydration. And it just has a good impact on you and the plant.
It's such a great idea, actually. It's fantastic. I love this. I have to take notes. So that is fantastic. So let's talk about your skin, because you said you love the products. What you started using skincare when you were 18. Did you go through anything dramatic, or did you try lots of things? What's the difference to what you're doing now? It would be interesting to know what's happening.
Yeah, so as I was growing up, there were 2 factors, I think, that were involved in it. So one was cultural and one was financial. So we didn't have a lot of spare money. So a lot of things like what shampoo you bought or what soap you bought was to do with like what you could afford rather than, what's really nice. And also culturally, my mother would use, you know, she would make her own things from turmeric and oats and honey, and she never really taught me the Western way of, like, you know, kind of cleansing, toning.
That's so great. So you did all the at home remedies. That's great.
I didn't really do it, but I saw her doing it. And another cultural thing is that we were not allowed to go out and spend time in the sun. So until I was 18 and I started, you know, traveling with friends or, you know, on my own, I literally had hardly had any sun on my skin. And I can, you know, I can see like that my forearms and my shins that have probably had more sun exposure, I can really see the difference now, you know, like 30 years later. So I'm really grateful that I never put my face in the sun, because I think that's made a difference. So when I was my first year at medical school, I guess I was 18 then, I still didn't have a skincare routine, but I can't remember how this happened, but over the summer, I got introduced to, you know, a sort of Western skincare routine. And when I returned for the second year of medical school, I got a lot of compliments. And that was just from simple cleansing, toning, and moisturizing. I mean, I have to say I was very lucky. I didn't, you know, I hardly ever got a spot or anything like that, but I really appreciated my skin. And as girls, when we'd have conversations about, like, you know, do you think it's more important to have like really great skin, or, you know, sort of like a particularly beautiful lips or something like that, I was always the skin person. I was like, I think having just, you know, lovely skin is the best makeup. It's the best, you know, sort of thing. The other things you can sort of do more about with makeup, for example. And then I would just say that I got really into it. You know, I would read magazines, I would go and browse the shops. Even now, if I, you know, when the last time I ran out of a moisturizer, I've got these 4 friends in New York that we're on a WhatsApp group, and I was like, you know, does anybody recommend a particularly amazing moisturizer? And then I get a few answers. And I read, you know, I read blogs about skin as well. So yeah, I think I've learned and incorporated things. I'm pretty good as well in normal times about having a monthly facial. I hadn't had a facial for 15 months by the time I went and had one of your facials, and it was like the best thing ever.
Was it good? In Mount Street.
Yeah, it was so good.
We just opened on Mount Street for everyone. It's a beautiful store. We have amazing facialists. They're amazing facials. And it's just great to just check it out. If you're in the area, just pop in and say hi to the girls and boys there. Tell me, was a great experience?
The whole experience, because everyone was so nice. I think everyone's so excited that, you know, it's just open. So I went, I think, in the first week or 2. But I mean, the shop is stunning. I like the candy store online anyway, but seeing all those little bottles lined up is just so cute as well. And the, you know, the window dressings were amazing. And then I went downstairs for the facial, and it was just, it's, you know, it's a little bit like what everybody says about cooking. It's so nice to eat food that I haven't cooked myself. Well, it was so nice to have my, you know, my face looked after properly by somebody who really knows what they're doing, who could give me advice. And yeah, just like, also I feel like going for a facial is a really great way to get your first experience of a product if you haven't tried those products before.
Yeah, that's why I kind of started them, because, you know, we had the products, and a couple of years ago I was like, I have to explain everything. Why don't I just start some facials? You know, we had facialists already doing all these treatments in my clinic, and so why don't we just go around the world with the facialists and have people experience, you know, the products through a facial? And that really, you know, you could see the full effect by using them all together, and it looked so stunning. And so that's, you know, people would come out of the room with the amazing skin, and I was like, oh my God, you're glowing. Yeah. And you know, this glow, that's how we, you know, created the Sturm glow, because, you know, people would just like glow. And so it was kind of fantastic to get that across to everyone. And then, you know, lots of people were asking, can we come for a facial? And we would just already be gone to another place. So I started, you know, opening, you know, the stores and facial places so everybody could come and experience. And that's really actually nice. And people are super happy to come and get like the full, you know, experience and idea about the products, how to use them, what's right for your skin. If you're oily skin, dry skin, combination skin, darker skin, pigmentation issues, breakouts. We have like a solution for everyone with skin, which no matter which age, which gender, which whatever it is, which bothers you, we know how to fix it. And I think that's better to be explained in a surrounding where it's only Sturm.
Yeah, and I think that even if, because we've all kind of been on Zoom or had more time to look in the mirror, and you can't remain objective about your own skin sometimes. And so I think, one of the questions that she asked is, what's the one thing that you would change about your skin if you could? And I said that, dark circles around my eyes. And she said, well, that can be quite genetic. And I said, well, yeah, I sort of have always had it. And it just made me feel better. I thought it's not because I don't sleep, because I love sleeping. It's not because I'm not hydrating. It's not because I'm not using an eye cream or whatever. And I just left that experience feeling like quite validated as well, in a way, which was really nice. And then I actually did bump into one of your team outside the store. And of course, she had seen me, but I hadn't seen her. So she came up to me really friendly saying hi. And I was like, I don't know who you are. But then she said her name. And she did say to me, you are absolutely glowing. So it worked.
You see? That is good. So it worked. So what are you using? Which products do you use? Which one do you love? Do you have adapted your skincare routine?
Yeah, so I love the cleanser. I just love the texture of it. So the foam cleanser, and the toner I actually have in my house in London. So I only use that when I go to London.
Where are you now?
I'm in Hampshire in our country house.
Ah, nice.
And my favorite product is the hyaluronic serum. That is my absolute favorite. But I've been trialing the vitamin C, and I do use the glow drops, and I've got another one, but I can't remember what it's called now.
Which moisturizer do you use?
I use the regular one for darker skin tones.
Yeah, good.
Recently, I've been using the SPF as well, obviously.
Good.
And then I have the hyaluronic mist as well, because after our live, when you said that people inhale the mist and it goes through their alveoli into their bloodstream, I was like, I need to get that mist.
Yeah, but it's true, because we're like, oh, it feels so nice, and everybody's coming out with a mist, and then it's fragrance and all this kind of stuff. Say, hey, wait a minute, you really need to check what's in the face mist, because that actually you breathe in, because it's such fine spritz. When you breathe it in, it goes into your alveolus and it's coming right into this bloodstream, and that's quite dangerous. So even more so when we have a spritz instead, skincare is a little more protective, but face mist, we have to be really paying attention.
Yeah. I have a confession to make, which is that what I've just described to you is my morning routine. And so that's like double cleanse, acid exfoliation, all of the stuff that I just said. I would say until I was well into my 40s, I was the kind of person that just went to bed in their makeup and that didn't even have an evening skincare routine.
Oh my God.
And I have actually been told off by some of my facialists over the years, just like...
You cannot do that.
So I've become much better about that now. And one of the tricks that I found is, because the reason I wouldn't do it is by the time it's bedtime, I'm just too tired. So now I do it earlier. So I do it sort of, I thought about doing it as soon as I came home from work, but that didn't work for me. So now I do it after dinner when we're sitting down together, and in our sort of, snug room, I have these reusable pads. You can just put them in the washing machine. So even if it's just water or micellar water, I will at least remove, my makeup, or just the kind of, the whatever build up from the day. And then I use the hyaluronic mist. And then
do you wash your face though? Or do you just use those pads? Okay, that is not good. So everyone there, these pads, fine, but you need to be really careful. I wouldn't recommend to use makeup wipes. I wouldn't recommend to use makeup, the clarisonic brushing thing, because that really rubs the dirt in. And if you use those thingies, that wouldn't take off all your makeup. So you really have to use the cleansing foam to really remove your makeup. So if I may make a suggestion, go in the bathroom after dinner, and do your routine, and then go back and watch a movie, or you know, work a little more, or read a book or whatever. And then when you fall asleep, then, you know, I would also already brush my teeth when I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Do it all together.
Yeah. Well, Barbara, you know, I've never confessed this to anyone before, so that was my and that's better than I used to be. So I still have some room for improvement. I'm so lucky I get to
Your
speak.
skin is great. So you have really resilient skin, obviously, you know, it doesn't really mind your, you know, you're not washing your face, but I think it feels really nice. I personally, I couldn't go to bed if I hadn't done my night routine. I just couldn't. I just need the feeling of, you know, having, you know, washed my face and put my skincare routine on. But I became such a nerd with that, you know, ever since I started doing all these products. I'm a nerd with everything regarding my body and how I wash my body, how I wash my hair. So we're doing all these products now. And I have all the samples. So you get a hair wash and a conditioner, you get everything from us now. Body wash, everything. Just because we need to pay so much attention to it.
Yeah, and actually I remembered the drops that I've taken to London are the anti-pollution drops, because I feel like I probably need anti-pollution in London more than I need it here, because we're literally in the middle of nowhere.
But you're sitting in front of the screens, no? Because it also is an HEV protection also from the screen light. So I use it more for the protection from the screen. I use it every morning just for that purpose.
That's, yeah, I need to think about that more. That's true, because I was thinking,
should rename it. It should be anti-pollution HEV drops or something.
Well, I was the angle of epigenetics, which is the influence of the environment on your gene expression. And so I was thinking, you know, if there's sun, if there's traffic, then I need the anti-pollution stuff. But I didn't really think as much about the screen. I actually don't spend that much time at the screen.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I work for myself, so it's not like I'm in Zoom meetings all day or anything like that.
Oh, that's good. Lots of people are in Zoom meetings, and you know, we don't understand that HEV light is same aggressive like sunlight. You know, sun is aggressive, penetrates the skin quite aggressively, and the HEV light also has a wavelength which goes deep and aggressively into the skin and can cause premature aging and pigmentation or anything like that.
That's fascinating, because I had even thought about the blue light blocking glasses, but I really, you know,
I think, a really good idea, because I feel my eyesight got so bad from, you know, spending so much time in front of the computers and screens and Zooms and everything. I think we should be doing that. My daughter Charlie is walking around with the glasses. My stepchildren are. I bought one for Pepper, my little one. Yeah, sometimes I get calls. And then I have to press them away. So I haven't figured out, you know, the do not disturb thing doesn't work on my phone. Should we dial in some people? Shiv, is there anyone who wants to talk to us?
Yeah, so we should have Kelly on the line. Kelly, do you want to just unmute yourself and switch on your camera?
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Hi. Oh.
My son, Eli.
Hi. Oh, how old is he?
Oh, he's 6 months.
Oh, so cute. How are you?
I'm doing well. I did have a question though. I have psoriasis, and I would like to know the daily regimen for entire body care.
For an entire, so you have psoriasis mainly on your knees, elbows, scalp. Where do you have the most flare-ups?
It covers my entire body. I have patches on my scalp, all the way down to the bottom of my feet.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Have you done you know, lab work? Have you seen a specialist for did you check on everything?
Yes.
Yes. So what did they recommend you to use? Cortisone, or what do they recommend you to use?
I've tried different things. At the worst, they had me using medication. I believe I think it's called methotrexate, but I had stopped using that because I didn't want interference with my liver. So I'm going to start going down the natural health path, correcting my diet, and utilizing creams, and that seemed to help. But I still have, as you can see, different discolorations, hyperpigmentation, scaly patches. So I just wanted to know.
I think the most important thing is to help you with the psoriasis more than any other discoloration. I think that is the main important step. And I give you a little story because a very well-known guy used to have psoriasis on his scalp for over 20 years. He tried everything. He started using the Scalp Serum, and his psoriasis went away. Yeah. So for the scalp, I definitely would start using the Scalp Serum. I would definitely implement this in my routine. And I give you 2 products I believe help with healing purposes and calming down the skin extremely, which is one, the calming serum. It's lots of natural ingredients, you know, from chamomile, avocado-spermum, balloon vine, Cyprus bugloss, sunflower seed oil extract. It's extract oil. It's like really very panthenol, which is great, very healing properties. And I would get the calming serum for sure. And what also helps quite a bit is the kids body cream. I created a line for kids, for children. And the kids body cream has an amazing combination of helping also with kids eczeema, has a lot of power. So I would really try to combine maybe the calming serum with the kids body cream. I would try that. And you for the face, you try the calming serum, and as a face cream, I mean, it's all super healing. Everything we do is anti-inflammatory, you know, it has healing components in every product, but those 2, I think they are particularly supportive. Yeah. And you know, you don't want to overpower your skin anyway, so less is more, and you just want to try those and step, you know, slowly into a routine maybe for later on. Also our kids shampoo, you know, the kids line is actually quite amazing for you. You could even wash your hair. It's like so clean, it doesn't foam, it's very, very mild, you know. Could maybe start using that. And I would propose, my thingy here is not very stable. I would propose that you would keep in touch with us. Yeah, we offer FaceTime consultations, and we can, you know, talk on a regular basis with one of my estheticians to see the progress in your skin and can adjust and can just like look how you're doing.
And Barbara, what about some of your supplements? Because
yeah,
one of them's got milk thickener.
The repair food would be really great. Even the anti-pollution food. I don't know, where are you right now? Are you in the US or in Europe?
I'm in the US. I live in California, San Jose.
Okay, so get in touch. My team will get in touch with you, because right now we're not selling the supplements in the States because we had to change something on the packaging. It's very difficult with the FDA regulation, but I will send them to you from my stash I have at home. I will send you some supplements too from California. Okay.
Thank you.
So try that and stay in touch and give us a little feedback how it's going. First of all, I'm very interested how it works for you. Second of all, I want to see that we get your problems better. Okay. Nice to meet you.
Meet you too. Thanks again.
Bye.
Okay, so next we should have Roxana on the line. Roxana, do you want to just unmute yourself and turn your camera on? There we go.
Yes, hello there. My question is, what products or routine do you recommend for someone who is unfortunately battling both breakouts and aging skin. I didn't think I would be at this point in my life to still be battling breakouts. And, thank you for all the information today with respect to stress and how that affects our skin. Definitely trying to, be as stress-free as possible. But I know that is definitely, impacting my skin, but at the same time, trying to battle wrinkles and all that fun stuff.
It's such a good question. And by the way, not just stress, but also pollution can cause breakouts. Our diet can cause breakouts. And, it's very new-ish that, adults getting so much breakouts. So you're not alone. There's so many cases where adults battle with, even cystic acne really bad. And that's why we created this clarifying line. The clarifying line is created for adult acne because it addresses anti-aging, addresses hydration, it addresses, the clearing up the, the blemishes and breakouts, and help to really calm down your skin and give still hydration. Because, if you would go for teenage products, they most likely would, dry out your skin. You cannot use those. You want to really do something valuable for your skin, which also helps you to protect from aging. So you would use ideally our darker skin tone cleanser and our darker skin tone enzyme cleanser, because they're on top of the benefits also antibacterial, and they're great when you have breakouts. Yeah. Okay. So please use those, the enzyme cleanser twice a week. Then I would recommend for you to use the balancing toner. Yeah. And then use the clarifying serum, which is a hyaluronic serum as well, the clarifying serum. You can also even on top use the super anti-aging serum. You can use both. Yeah. You can build the super anti-aging serum in the routine as well. And then you use the clarifying face cream and the eye cream, and then the sun drops. Okay. Yeah. And in your night routine, you can also use the clarifying serum. You can use the night serum and the clarifying face cream also at night. But you can also in the morning, and it depends how many products you want to use, at the anti-pollution drops. Where do you live? In
Canada, I'm in Toronto area.
How's the pollution there?
It can be pretty bad, especially in the summer.
So maybe the anti-pollution drops are also a good idea to build in. And then we have something called a clarifying face mask. And that you do twice a week. You leave the mask on for 20 minutes and then you wash it off. Yeah. And we have another really genius product. It's called Spot Treatment. And this we have in a clear version you can use overnight. You just put on those spots. It's amazing. Don't work on your spots. Leave it alone. Just put the spot treatment on and you're good. And for during the day, use the spot treatment with a tint. So we can send it to you with a tint depending on the color you need, but we have different shades. And then you just can cover, and you don't have to work on it. You don't have to put nasty makeup on it. You can just use the spot treatment.
Wonderful. Thank you. And just the last question, are you planning on opening up a facial store in Toronto?
So many people are asking, but G Beauty, the store? Yes. I think they're offering Sturm facials there too. They're my partner. They're super lovely. They can, check if you cannot get the right facial there, you just let us know. But they should be offering the Sturm facials if you ask them.
Amazing. I will. Thank you so much.
So nice to meet you, and good luck, and stay in touch.
Will do. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, next we have Tana. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Tana, are you there?
Tana sounds like Tara. Tara, there are a lot of skin issues, everybody has something. It's like from stress, diet, hormones. It's hard to keep skin in shape.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I hope you can all hear me well, and thank you for picking my
Hi.
question.
Where are you now?
I'm in Düsseldorf.
Oh, cool. Where in Düsseldorf?
I'm living in Seoul.
Ah, okay. I'm across the river from you. I'm in Oberkassel right now.
Okay, nice.
That's cool. I love that. That is actually really cool. So
So I'm so happy to have my question picked. So it's like here in Germany, we are welcoming the change in weather, and I'm so happy for it. But I want to know how I can, keep my skin in check and move from the winter skincare routine that I had into a summer skincare, because it feels like we've skipped spring. And my second question, a lead up to that, would be, what is one product that you would recommend as a summer must-have?
okay. Oh, one product is hard. I can already tell you that. But first of all, the summer, you get the heat and you sweat more. That's why your skin tends to become more oily, and you would change your face cream to a lighter version of your face cream. Ideally, all the other products you can use through winter and summer, because everything I create is pretty much designed for hydration and real refreshing. So if you use your serums, it doesn't really add up, and it doesn't really sit on your skin. It goes right into your skin, refreshes, and gives like intense deep and superficial hydration, which is important. So they're all very much designed for all year round. So you use your cleanser every day, your enzyme cleanser twice a week, and then what I always recommend is the hyaluronic serum and the anti-pollution drops. The hyaluronic serum and the anti-pollution drops. And then, do you have more oily skin or dry skin?
Dry skin, and also darker skin tone, so
Yes.
how do you care for a darker skin tone in summer as well?
Yeah, you can use the darker skin tone line. I created the line for darker skin tone, so you can use the cleanser and enzyme cleanser and the hyaluronic serum from the darker skin tone line. Then you use the anti-pollution drops, and then you use the normal face cream for darker skin tones as well. Yeah. And then you add our sun drops, and the eye cream would be good, and the sun drops as an SPF for the summer. What I love for the summer is the hydrating face mist, to spritz in between. But that is a really good routine to keep going in the summer. In the evenings, what I like to use is the super anti-aging serum, the night serum. So I switch into an evening routine, because it also helps to, repair the UV damages from the day. If there was anything to repair, that's really power tools to help. I don't know if you like to use a good vitamin C serum, which is super anti-aging and formulated in a way that it doesn't cause sensitivity, because the ingredients I picked, they are formulated in a way that it enters the skin first and then releases the activity. So the vitamin C serum is a good night product as well to add to your nighttime routine. And the way you layer serums, you put one serum on, then you wait like 20 to 30 seconds, and then you use the next serum, and then you wait again, use the next one. You wait like half a minute or so until it's totally dissolved, and then you can add the next one. Also, we have a store and spa here in Düsseldorf, so you should come in maybe for a facial if you want to.
Yeah, definitely, it's on my list.
It would be so nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you for taking my question.
No, of course. I waved to you over the Rhine, and I hope I see you next week. I'm here for the next 2 weeks, so come and visit me.
Yeah, I surely will put that in my calendar.
Yeah, please.
Enjoy your
Good to
evening.
see you.
And thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. I was just thinking what you were suggesting for the darker skin tones, those are exactly the products that I use. But I forgot, because it was so long ago, that I got that week supply of night ampules. And having confessed that I'm not very good at nighttime routine, when I had
You haven't used them yet.
I washed my face every single day consecutively, and I used them, and my skin absolutely loved that. I actually need to get some more of those, because that will help me to want to wash my face, because I like using that ampule so much.
Yeah, they're amazing. No, I love them. And the ampules, you know, people sometimes ask me why ampules, why the serum. The ampules are a little higher concentrated and they're seen more as a cure, whereas the serums you like, you know, every day. But if you want to do like a strict cure with it, you can do 1 ampule a day.
And I didn't actually know that you can layer so many serums like that. I tend to choose one each day. So that's great learning for me.
Good fact coming into play. You know, I wish the team in the spa would have explained that. Good one. So we'll have another team meeting soon. Shiv.
I wanted to ask you just really quickly about the what's it called? The little needles that go into your skin.
Microneedling. Did you do that? The microneedling?
You know, I did. I actually was afraid to do it because I've got darker skin and the scar. You know, my scars don't heal very well. I was afraid to do it. So
it's very superficial. It doesn't cause scarring. You know, it doesn't go that deep that it would cause scarring. It's just like an activation of your fibroblasts. It helps to, you know, bring your matrix into place, you know, getting your skin cells situated. So it's actually quite good to sometimes activate this a little bit. But don't be worried about scarring. They wouldn't have, you know, they shouldn't do it deep, but they know that.
Okay. I was thinking I might buy, because you can buy the device.
Yes, you can do, and you should only do like the 0.25 millimeter one, like very, very, you know, tiny, but it's nice to sometimes do it and activate.
Great, I'm going to try that. Never tried that before. I love microdermabrasion, but I've never tried that.
Siobhan, do we have anyone else who wants to join?
That's everyone now. We're almost done. We have 2 minutes left.
Okay, Tara, do you have anything else to say? I had a wonderful conversation with you as always, and you're a superstar. I hope everybody enjoyed the conversation like I did, and I always learn more. And you know, again, if anyone has a suggestion what you guys would learn about how skin school should look like, if you should change anything, please don't hesitate to write us. And yeah, we are always open for things to do better. But Tara was one of my really, I love to talk to Tara so much. I think you all thought the same way. Thank you, Tara, so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. You're so lovely and kind and generous to everyone that you speak to. But I do really enjoy our conversations because I think that our medical background and the sort of, you know, some of the more personal choices that we've made in our life about how to live are just so aligned. So it's just so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I wish you a wonderful weekend. In Germany, it's only Wednesday actually, but in Germany, it's like tomorrow is like a bank holiday. So people don't work tomorrow. And then most people then take the Friday off. So for us, it's a long weekend. Anyway, sending everybody so much love. And I see you next Wednesday, hopefully. And I see you hopefully in London soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.